Okay, so today we're going to make some keto staples. This is 90-second bread, which will also turn into keto pancakes. So I have some unsalted butter, some ground almonds, some baking powder and an egg. So we're just going to start off with some butter. This is unsalted butter. Quite often the butter will be indicated on the packet that it cuts into 50-gram portions, but not on this one, which is from Tesco's. So I'm just taking a little slice of butter. It's around 20 grams, so that's about an ounce of butter, what you'd call a knob of butter. And I'm putting it into my bowl that I'm going to cook my bread in, and I'm going to pop that in the microwave to melt. So my butter has just about all melted and it's in my bowl, and to that I'm just going to add an egg. That's a regular egg I use the multi-sized free-range eggs that come in packs of 15, and I'm just going to mix those together until they're mixed. So that's that, and to that I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of ground almonds. This weighs in at about 40 grams. I always say about because it depends on the size of your eggs. If you're using the eggs that are all different sizes, this may change ever so slightly as you go. So we're going to add the ground almonds to our egg and mix, and then we're going to have some baking powder. So this is just Dr. Oetker's baking powder, and this is 0.6 of a ml spoonful, so that's about half of a teaspoon, and that's just going to give it a few bubbles which are just going to allow it to rise. You'll notice I'm using ground almonds, regular baking almonds, because what you are effectively making here is like the picture on the front of my ground almonds. It is the Bakewell tart, but without the sugar and without any jam. So what you're getting is a Bakewell tart. Okay, and we're just going to stir that together. So this is our basic mixture. If I was to take the spoon out and pop this into the microwave now for 90 seconds, it would become 90-second bread. If I was to make something sweet, I could add vanilla bean paste, or I could add some sweeteners such as this stevia xylitol, or I could make something chocolate by adding a spoonful of cocoa powder. But today we're going to make something savoury. So I have here a small amount of cheese, approximately half a finely chopped spring onion, and a slice of ham. Sometimes I would use just the pre-sliced cheese, or I might use a Baby Bell or something along those lines. And I'm just going to tip these in to my mixture and mix them around. And in any case, they all take exactly the same time in the microwave, which is 90 seconds. So that's all mixed in. We'll have a little look at it after it's been on high in the microwave for 90 seconds. So here we are after 90 seconds in the microwave. It doesn't look the most appetising and inspiring because it doesn't have an awful lot of colour, but it does taste pretty good. So we're just going to take this out. I would always recommend making and melting the butter in the bowl that you were actually going to make it in, because it does save a lot of mess and washing up. They do recommend you make it in mugs, but I think a bowl like this generally works better. That's quite hot. So there you have it. This is a nice savoury version. If you add cocoa, then cocoa turns into quite a nice, almost almost birthday cake-ish variety. In my bowl here I have 1/3 of a cup of almonds, 0.6 of a spoonful of baking powder, an egg, some vanilla bean paste and some melted butter. I'm just going to add a little drop of water to this and thin it out slightly until it's approximately the consistency of double cream. So there we go, that didn't take very much, that was literally just a splash of water, and now we have a much looser texture. So now we're going to go over to the oven and cook our pancakes and make a nice little side of blueberry compote. Here, a 200 gram panette of frozen blueberries. I tend to buy them when they're cheap and then stash them in the freezer for when I want them. They stay quite loose in the freezer, which is quite nice. I'm not going to use all of these because all of these are quite carby. But I'm going to put approximately 1/4 of the pack, so that's about 50 grams, into a saucepan, put it on under a low heat while I'm cooking the blueberries, and then when we come back to it, it will have made a nice little jam or compote, which will complement our pancakes quite nicely. So they're in just on a nice low heat, and then I'm going to light the gas under the other pan to cook our pancakes in. And we want a nice medium heat. And nice bit of butter in the pan. And all we're going to do is we're going to drop spoonfuls of our mixture into the pan in groups of 2 or 3 and wait for the bubbles to rise. It's the baking powder that's causing a chemical reaction, and that will give us our lightness, and what you'll end up with is a series of pancakes which are, yeah, they're not quite the American fluffy pancakes, but they're not bad. They're not bad at all. So get ourselves a spatula. Give our blueberries a little shake. And our butter is warming up nicely. So we're just going to pop 3 little batches in our pan on a medium heat. In fact, I can probably turn that up a little bit. Keep giving our blueberries a little shake. Of course, you can do the blueberries in the microwave if you wish to. So the pancakes are cooking up quite nicely. I'm going to see if I can get a slightly more closer shot. And maybe you can see that they are, might be able to see the bubbles just coming to the surface on that. You can just about see maybe the edges are just about firmed up, and as I move them they are really rather well behaved. So we're just going to take that now that the bubbles have come to the top, and we're going to flip them onto the other side. Maybe. Hey, there we go. Just because I've got the camera in front of me, I'm finding it a little bit tricky. But there we go. I'm just going to turn this down a little bit just to firm up the other side. Get our plate ready. Now I would serve these with the blueberry compote and maybe a little bit of high fat creme fraiche, yoghurt, or even some clotted cream. Our berries are now ready, and you don't need very many berries. And enjoy. Thanks for watching.